I wanted to do a quick video on rideshare tips. Now, when I say tips, I'm talking about tips, cash tips, money tips, debit card transactions, extra gratuity that your riders, your passengers are able to give you. So, real quick, I want to break it down. In the Uber app, riders, passengers are not able to give you credit card, debit card, PayPal tips, and they are suggested that, or it's the policy of Uber that clients, riders, passengers don't have to tip, and as a driver we shouldn't solicit tips. And then with Lyft has a tipping option in the app, so when the Lyft rider goes in to rate you, they can also tip you. Now, I've heard from riders and passengers that they like being able to tip in the app, but I want to break it down to you how it really goes. I've been driving since November of 2016, and it is now March of 2017, and I get way more cash tips with both Uber and Lyft than I get credit and debit card transactions. Can't explain it, don't know why that is that way, but it just is that way week after week. I get way more tips that are cash tips than any others. Now, I just came from the bank. I just deposited $56 in cash tips that I got. That was from one shift. So typically in a week, if I work kind of part-time, I bring anywhere between like $80 and $120 in cash tips. Now, if I do like a full schedule, like 40 to 50 hours a week, you're talking about maybe between $100 and $200 in cash tips that come in. And I want to tell you this, with Uber, I get way more tips than I get with Lyft. Now, mind you, the policy is not to solicit tips, so I don't say a word. But there's a lot of drivers out there that have signage on the back of their seats. They have tip jars, they have canisters, they have stickers on the windows, things reminding riders and passengers to rate them 5 stars, suggesting that they should rate them 5 stars if they like the service, and to tip them. They appreciate tips, etc. I don't have any of that stuff. Now, I fully intended, when I was about to start driving, I intended on having signage on the back of my seats. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Right here, back of the front seats, I planned on having signage. You see, I don't have any. And, you know, something to remind them, something to give them a way to rate me highly and tip me and that kind of stuff. But I want to tell you what actually happened though. When I actually started driving back in November and December of last year, right off the bat, my passengers and riders would compliment how my vehicle smells. They would compliment the cleanliness of my vehicle. They would compliment the convenience and the speediness of my service. They would compliment my navigation, and I'm still learning San Antonio. I'm from New York City, but they would compliment my service. And so I got hundreds and hundreds of 5-star ratings without asking, without mentioning it, without talking about it, and they tip me. Even my Uber riders, they tip me way more than any other riders, and they tip me a lot. So I get good tips without soliciting those tips, without asking for those tips, even sometimes reminding them that they don't have to tip, and they tip me anyway. But they tip me because I show up, I greet them, I have great conversation with many of my riders and passengers. I take them where they need to go. I don't BS. I have a great attitude and usually a smile on my face. I joke around with them. You know, we have a good time during the ride, and when they get into my ride, they're impressed with my vehicle. They like how it feels. They like how it smells. It's a good atmosphere. It's stress-free, no drama. If they're on a phone call, I leave them alone. If they're having a conversation, I don't butt in, but I will talk to them and have a good time with them if the opportunity is there. So my thing is, Do what works for you. I'm not hating on y'all that have signage and tip canisters and tip jars and you got all kinds of weird stuff going on in your vehicle. Good for you. If that works for you, keep doing it. Do you. But what I've experienced, if your vehicle is very nice inside and it looks elegant and sleek and luxurious, even though I'm not Uber Select, just keep it that way. Don't add weird, corny, funky stuff to your vehicle because you're trying to get tips. Just be a 5-star driver, provide excellent service, and your riders and passengers will tip you for that.